That double audio was a test, and if you were wondering. But we should be up and running now. Hopefully. Let's just hope it stays that way, right? Hey, hey, hey! Let's get started. Hi, Sinead. Hi, Alice. Hello, Star. Hi, hi. You were close. You were close. You were almost first. Hey, Namaki. Hey, Dalton. How's it going, everyone? Hello, Heretical Buttermilk. Love that name. It's a spiritual first. You're right, I need to look at it with my spiritual eyes. Well, welcome in, oh look, a ghost. It is great to see you. I'm glad you're able to join alive. You were 8th, you think? Okay, well, if this were a track event, that would still be scoring. So. Oh, I did forget to change the chat thing over. I know you guys on TikTok can't see it, but there we are. We'll do like a nice, really pale blue, maybe. We're just gonna go with that. Hopefully that's a little easier to read. Chilling, just being grateful you're not a Christian. Hey, hell yeah. Thank you for the follow, my garden hoe. James Anthony, well, we are happy to start your weekend with you. Giovanni, I did not have a very pleasant experience with you last time. I don't know if I want to let you up. Oh, you saw me and Rat Soup at another live earlier. Yeah, that was funny. I came home and, yeah. Joshua was on that other stream and the guy was just floundering and then used a slur. Because that's what cowards do. Which, Giovanni, is that what you did? I can't remember. Is that what you did, Giovanni? Well, just saying scared is not an answer to the question. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that it's just a delay. Why not just be normal and dislike something in private? Because Christianity is harmful to the people who believe in it and to society at large. So. Cheers, Harvmatic. It's not harmful to you? Well, come up and let's talk about it. We'll see about that. Giovanni, you were very unpleasant to speak to before. I don't wish to talk to you again. And the fact that you don't understand consent enough to just, like, let my answer be my answer, it tells me all I need to know about whether or not I want to have a conversation with you. Because if someone is going to be pushy and try to coerce me into making a decision that I've already told them I'm not going to make, then I know they're not worth my time. So, you can see yourself out, or you can catch this block. Hi, Summer. Hey, can I get your name, age, and pronouns?
Hey, excuse me. I'm 30. I'm a he.
And what do you want me to call you?
You call me who?
All right. What is your religion or lack thereof?
I'm an Orthodox Christian.
Okay, cool. You might be able to answer this for me then. Why do Christians worship an a-hole?
Um, it's kind of a loaded question, though, right?
A little bit.
Like, if I said, "Why are you so ugly?" That would be loaded, right? That's like kind
Oh,
of
I
like a
would
catch
say
22.
because of genetics, not because of how God made me.
Okay, right. So, but it's a loaded question because it assumes what you're already. It
Yeah, I
assumes
just
your
answered
conclusion
it.
in the question.
So,
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not calling you ugly. I'm just saying it's kind of loaded in that sense. Like, why are you saying? Why would
yeah,
I
but I was able to answer
assume my
that
conclusion in the
question.
question? Okay, so I don't believe in he's an a-hole.
Oh,
So
okay.
I mean,
Cool.
there you
Glad
go.
we got past all that weird stuff about the meta. Um, yeah, so let's talk about a few things that the Christian God does in the Bible. Are you cool to talk about that?
Okay, before we do that, is this an internal critique or is this an external critique?
Uh, a mix of both.
Well, you're gonna have to choose one because how are we
No.
gonna disambiguate when it's an external versus when it's internal?
Well, it'll be pretty obvious because if I'm saying, well, at one point in the Bible, God says not to do this, and then he does that exact thing, that's obviously internal critique. If I say God does this thing that is obvious to any non Christian, an atrocity, then that would be
Yeah.
external.
From
So
from the Christian
it's
worldview, do you think that Christians believe that God is the source of goodness?
I wouldn't try to make like a monolithic argument about what Christians believe about that. Do you?
You don't know, so how do you?
No,
Why
that's
can
not
you
what I
make a
said. What I
monolithic?
said is I wouldn't try to frame it as if Christians have a monolithic belief that God is the source of goodness because I've
But
talked
you're
to some
making a
people.
monolithic claim in your question about God's nature as an
Oh
asshole.
yeah, because the God that they worship, it's all the same God, right? So that is a monolithic belief. It's the same God because if you don't worship the Christian God, then you wouldn't be Christian.
So then you're making a monolithic claim about the type of God that Christians believe, all Christians, right?
Well, they all would worship the same God, so any claim I make about that God would universally apply to Christians, yes.
Gotcha.
But
So then it
again, I
would
don't
be
really care
fair
to
to
just like
say,
whine about the meta. I'd rather like talk about things in scripture. It seems like you're trying to avoid talking about scripture by doing all of this weird meta commentary stuff. So,
well, the it's important because if we're just going to be coming at it from our you know, two distinct worldviews, what I'm going to consider, good is going to be in reference to God, and if God is good, right, the source of good, then no matter what you think you can point out that is bad, right, it's just going to be permissible and just because
okay.
God is the source of
So anything
justice.
God does is permissible and just.
That's correct.
Okay, so when he ordered the Israelites to take the Midianite virgins as sex slaves, was that good and just?
Yeah, we can just grant all of it that it's just from our
Yeah,
worldview.
I just want to hear you say that when God said to take virgin girls as sex slaves, it was good and just.
He didn't say that,
He did in
but we
Numbers
can just
31.
grant it.
I can read it to you.
Go ahead.
I read from the NRSVUE.
Why that version particularly?
It's what's typically used in like scholarly settings. It's what you'll see at seminaries and the like.
What seminaries?
Uh, Most of them. If you want me to list
Oh, okay.
off.
Well, I'm an Orthodox Christian. Can you use the New King James version? That's what we use.
Oh, King James sucks. Why would I use that translation?
I said the New King James version.
Yeah, which is based off of what?
It's a simplified version of the King James without the thee and thous and
Which is
all
horrible.
that.
So I'm not going to use a horrible translation. So, Numbers 31.
So you're not going to go the translation that corresponds with my, my religion, my faith.
Well, I can demonstrate multiple reasons why the King James is a bad translation if you'd like.
Okay. I didn't say King James. I said New King James, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Well,
Yeah, just
once
read the
again,
verse.
what is New King
Yeah,
James based off of?
Just read the verse. Go ahead. Go
Great,
read
thank
it.
you. So glad we can finally actually get to like the substance. So this is Numbers 31. I'll start in verse 17 because this is talking about war with the Midianites. So he says, "Now therefore, unalive every male among the little ones, and unalive every woman who has known a man by sleeping with him. But all the young girls who have not known a man by sleeping with him, keep alive for yourselves."
Yo, where in that does it imply that they're sex slaves?
What do you think they're keeping just the virgin girls for?
What do you mean, just the virgin girls?
It says to unalive all of the men and all of the women who have known a man by sleeping with him, but all the young girls who have not known a man by sleeping with him, that is, the virgin girls, keep alive for yourselves. Why would they keep the virgin girls alive for themselves?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Okay, well, if you're not sure, let's go
No,
to
but
Deuteronomy
why? But
21.
what about that? What about that implies that it's for sex slavery?
Well, let's read Deuteronomy 21. We can start in verse 10 because I think it might clarify this a little bit for you because it's God's instructions on how to take a woman as a sex slave when she's a spoil of war. So, Deuteronomy 21, starting in verse 10. When you go out to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God hands them over to you, and you take them captive, suppose you see among the captives a beautiful woman whom you desire and want to marry. And so you bring her home to your house. She shall shave her head, pare her nails, discard her captive's garb, and shall remain in your house a full month, mourning her father and mother. After that you may go into her, that is, have sex with her, and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. But if you are not satisfied with her, you shall let her go free, and certainly not sell her for money. You must not treat her as a slave, since you have dishonored her.
Right. And so in the Old Testament, we understand that God is working with a fallen and a spiritually immature and broken
Oh,
population.
wait, sorry.
Right.
So are we not saying that it's not sexual slavery anymore? Have we
No, no,
cons-
I'll grant you that.
Okay, so
I'll
it
grant
is
you that.
sexual slavery. So God tells them specifically how to take these girls as sex slaves. Specifically tells them to do it with the Midianites. Um, if you think that this God is perfectly good and just, you can't say that he had to adapt to the times because that would be moral
I'm not saying
relativism.
that he's adapting to the times. I'm saying that God meets us, right? He works with a broken and fallen uh,
That would be adapting
society, a
to the
broken and
times.
fallen nature. That's
Would
not
that be okay
adapting to the times.
nowadays? Would God permit that nowadays?
No, because we're not under the Old Testament. All that's been fulfilled in
So
Christ.
that would be moral relativism.
It's not
Also, I don't
moral
think you know what
relativism.
fulfilling the law means. Fulfilling a law doesn't mean the law goes away.
No, fulfilling the law, it means that Christ, all of the laws that were meant to guide, where the laws were meant to prepare the God's people for the arrival of Christ, and
Mm.
so Christ comes uh, to teach, right, the new law to the
New
believers.
law? What new law?
Yeah, the New Testament law, right?
What new law?
Like for example, in the Council of Jerusalem, when they're debating whether, when the apostles are debating whether they should keep the Old Testament laws, Paul says that the only laws that are to be kept are the moral laws,
What
and
does
the
Jesus
moral
say?
law.
Matthew
What does Jesus say
5:17.
about that? I'll look it up. Yeah, he comes to fulfill the law.
You're missing out on a certain part. Can you read the whole thing?
He comes not to abolish the law, right, or the
Mm.
prophets,
Mhm.
but he comes to abolish, but to fulfill them.
Not to abolish. So what would abolish mean?
Abolish would mean to do away with.
Okay, so he's come not to do away with the law. What would that mean?
Got me there.
And the next verse, for truly I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not one letter, not one stroke of a letter will pass from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Okay.
So Jesus seems to reiterate that you should be keeping the old law.
Okay. That's I don't think that's the case if you can't point to a single Christian community or church that actually practices these things.
So because Christians are hypocrites, the Bible doesn't say what it actually says?
No, it means that your understanding of how these things work could be wrong. Either billions of Christians are wrong, right, or
They
you're
are.
right.
Billions of Christians are wrong because God is not real and they believe in God.
You know what I'm saying? Whether God is real or not, whether Christians are properly applying, right, their religion and their faith, right, correctly, whether they properly understand their faith, you're saying billions of them are wrong and you're right above them.
Well, I'm not claiming to practice their faith, but we both just read the words of Jesus himself saying that not one letter, not one stroke of a letter
I
will pass from
understand.
the law until all is
I understand.
accomplished. So
No, I
you don't
understand.
have to take my word for it, take Jesus' word for it.
No, I understand what you're saying. Okay, but is it possible that you are not properly interpreting, right,
It's
the
possible, you
the
would have to
words
show me why.
in its full context?
Yeah, you would have to show me why. Of course it's possible, but explain to me why I would be wrong when again, we're just reading what is supposedly a direct quote from Jesus.
Well, I would just be appealing to the way that Christians practice now, right?
I don't care about how it's practiced, I care about what the text says.
Okay, but okay, but the text and the church are you can't divorce the two, okay?
Yeah, you
Because
absolutely
it's
can.
up it's up to the church. The church, there's a body of believers that compiled the scriptures
How
and
many
that are
denominations are
entrust
there?
Protestant.
No, just of Christianity.
Well, again, I'm an Orthodox Christian, so from my worldview, there's one denomination and a bunch of schismatics.
Yeah, everyone thinks that their denomination is the real one. They
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
be
know, but
they
there's
wouldn't
only one
practice
church
their
that.
denomination if they didn't believe it. So,
No,
if
I
there are
agree. I
all of
understand
these
that.
denominations, then yeah, you can't say that you can't divorce the church from the text because obviously if they all believe differently, then they have to be somewhat divorced from the text.
No, what I'm saying is that there's only one church that has a historical continuity to the church that was established by the apostles.
Oh, hold on, say my thing is disconnected. Weird. Well, I've had Catholics telling me that theirs is the only one because of
Yeah, I
apostolic
know, but
succession. Um,
well,
so
yeah,
like
well,
once again, everyone thinks that theirs is the one that's correct.
yeah, but that just because everyone claims it doesn't mean that there's not that they're all wrong in that sense. Okay.
Yeah, I do think they're all wrong because you all believe in a God that doesn't exist. But what I'm
Okay.
saying is, you say you can't divorce the text from the church. But if there are literally tens of thousands of different churches, then you can't say that they all practice the text the exact same way.
That's exactly. But I'm saying like even when we disagree, right? Even when there's, Protestants have their interpretations, Catholics have theirs, right? None of those, right, have come to the interpretation that you're coming to, that the law is still applicable and we should be taking, sex
Yeah,
slaves,
cause who the
virgins as
fuck would
sex slaves.
wanna who the fuck would they convince to practice that religion?
I mean, there's Muslims that practice all sorts of barbaric shit. There's all sorts of people that practice barbaric shit.
Who did you hear yourself just then?
Yeah, there's all sorts of people that would love some kind of justification to practice barbaric shit like that.
Just like really listen to the things that you're saying in these moments. and think like, is this something that a good person would say?
You don't have a justification for what's good, so on what basis do you call me good or not good?
Well, I do have a justification for good, but that's irrelevant to what we're talking about.
It isn't, because we're comparing contrasting worldviews. Like, let's say, watch this. Let's say I just granted you all the arguments. God is an asshole. You know, he's evil. He's commanded me to do all these evil things, right? And I'm ready to recant and repent of my Christianity and accept atheism.
All right. Have a good night. You guys heard it. Tally for me. Everyone heard that? He said the thing. Yeah, that wasn't fucking getting anywhere because you were just completely ignoring everything that I was saying. So how was I supposed to have a conversation with you? So, GG. I saw a bunch of people requesting, but it's showing that my requests are empty. Babe, are you able to see if there are people requesting? Because I cannot see that. And if you guys hit the button to preview, does it show you like how many viewers are supposedly requesting? You don't see any? No? Okay, that's so weird. Because I saw like 4 or 5 people come in and like quick one after another while I was having that conversation. Hello? There we go. Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going all right. Can I get your name, age, and pronouns?
Yeah, Joseph, 31.
And what pronouns should we use for you?
Oh, he, him is good.
All right, Joseph, what is your religion or lack thereof?
I'm a Christian.
All right, so maybe you'll be able to answer for me. Why do Christians worship an a-hole?
Well, obviously, I don't believe that we do.
Almost got you.
Yeah, it was a good try.
Yeah, so if someone condones slavery, a-hole or not a-hole?
Depends on your definition of slavery.
Chattel slavery, owning people as property and passing them down to their children as inheritance.
Not black and white.
Not black and white. So you won't just condemn slavery.
No.
So do you think there's like a good way to enslave people?
Like the act of enslaving, or is slavery always bad?
Either one, Joseph.
Yeah, so there are kinds of slavery that I wouldn't consider as bad. There are definitely kinds of slavery that I would consider as bad.
Because I did just clarify chattel slavery.
Yeah, could you explain what you mean by that? The word gets thrown around a lot. I'd like to just hear what your definition of that is.
So I did define it, but I'll say it again. Owning people as property, with them being able to be passed down to the slave owner's children as inheritance.
Yeah, so I mean there are rare cases where people would sell themselves into slavery because it was a better living and they trusted the people that they were selling themselves to. So I guess what I'm saying is that
talking about indentured servitude, which is not the same thing as chattel slavery.
Well, by your definition, it could also be considered that.
The Bible makes a pretty clear distinction.
Distinction for what?
Between indentured servitude and chattel slavery.
Yeah, I'm just saying your definition was, slavery where you're passed down from one generation to the next.
And indentured servants would not be.
Right, but I'm saying if someone did
fit that bill.
But if someone did choose to do that, that would still be chattel slavery, right?
So, owning people as property that you can pass down to your children is chattel slavery.
Right.
Indentured servants do not follow those same rules. They're not inheritable property. And they also are set free after a predetermined amount of time.
Yeah.
Well,
either
if they're
way.
Men. The women, no, but
Right.
yeah.
So what's your question about the Bible, I guess?
Yeah, so it was, if someone condones chattel slavery, does that make them an a-hole or not?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. You're defending slavery right now, Joseph. Are you aware of that?
Well, you have to understand there's a lot of different kinds of it.
Yeah, but I've clarified precisely what kind I mean, and you're still defending it.
Well, why don't we go to the text, and
Sure.
you show me what about the Bible it is that you're concerned about.
So Leviticus 25, starting in verse 44. As for the male and female slaves whom you may have, it is from the nations around you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire them from among the aliens residing with you and from their families who are with you, who have been born in your land. They may be your property. You may keep them as a possession for your children after you, for them to inherit as property. These you may treat as slaves, but as for your fellow Israelites, no one shall rule over the other with harshness.
Mm-hmm. What was that passage again?
Leviticus 25, and that was verses 44 through 46.
Okay. So one of the concepts that I think is important to understand when reading the Bible is that when God makes laws, especially regarding slavery, is he saying that what he's, like the laws that he's making are the best form of things, or is he telling them this is as far as you can go?
Well, considering he tells them to cut their foreskins off, I feel like he's not just doing, like, whatever he thinks they're capable of following.
No. What I'm saying is, like, the rules that he's giving here for slavery, is he saying this is the ideal that all humanity should attain to, or is he saying, hey, for this, my people, these are the rules you have to follow. This is as far as you can go. You can't go outside of these rules.
Yeah, I would argue if you're trying to say that he is, like, a good God, that he would not give bad laws.
No, but I'm saying that, I guess the end of my argument is this. If God kept all people from doing all evil, if it was you can be perfectly good or you're punished, then none of us would be able to exist. So in order for us to exist, God has to allow evil, right? I'm sorry, what?
That is the old covenant, I fear.
What is the old covenant?
That any sin made you unclean.
Well, I mean, that's still true today. Any sin makes you deserving of death.
Okay, so that contradicts the thing that you just said.
No. What I'm saying is, like, if God immediately punished all injustice or evil to the extent that it deserves immediately, then none of us would exist right now. So God curbs evil, but he can't curb it completely.
So none of us, when you say none of us, do you mean babies? Do you include babies in that?
Yeah.
So God would slaughter all the babies if he was capable of, like, doing that for evil people?
I mean, he's certainly capable. He chooses not to.
He chooses
I would say that, yes.
So why would the babies be included in the evil? What evil could a baby commit?
It's a headship thing. So, like, whether you like it or not, you are in some ways represented by the current administration because you're an American. Even though you haven't done or believe the things that the current administration does, in a way, you fall under their headship because, well, I assume you're American. I guess I shouldn't assume that.
I'm an American.
But you see what I'm saying about headship?
Against the current administration, but no, I don't see why God wouldn't be able to make that distinction, why God would unnecessarily slaughter a bunch of babies.
Well, he created them.
Okay, so do their parents. Do their parents get to unalive their own babies when they feel like it?
Well, no.
Why not?
Because that would be taking God's right into their own hands.
Oh, God's right to slaughter babies?
Yeah.
Oh, just real quick. Slaying babies can be good, if God says so. So far you've defended slaughtering babies and enslaving people. How does it make you feel as a Christian?
So you can make one-liners, but if you want to know like the ins and outs of it,
why are you defending slave owners and not babies? Is my question, right? So why are babies deserving of death, but like it's totally cool to own people as property?
What I'm trying to say is that in the Old Testament, you have a lot of laws that allow things that we would say are not ideal. But when you look at the context of those nations, the laws that God gave to the Israelites actually protected people more than any of the surrounding nations. And so you're right. God didn't create laws that held them to a perfect standard. But what I'm trying to say is if God made laws that held us all to a perfect standard, none of us would be able to.
Okay, it's not perfection.
Right.
I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for not condoning slavery. I'm not a perfect person. I don't condone slavery.
Right.
So it's like a pretty low bar, actually. Like I'm not.
So what about Philemon?
Perfection. Oh, Philemon, where like the slave is encouraged to return to his owner and remain enslaved.
And what is the owner encouraged to do?
To treat him better.
To treat him as a brother.
But not to set him free.
That's what it means to treat him as a brother.
It does not ever tell him to set him free.
Would that not be what it means to be like a sibling in a household? It means you're not a slave if you're a sibling.
You're kind of stretching the meaning of that, but I don't really want to pivot to Philemon because again, the verses that I read you in Leviticus very clearly outline why God sees slavery as okay.
Yeah, so the reason I disagree with you that God is unilaterally for slavery is that the Old Testament was written to a particular people at a particular time. And the laws.
Relativism. So do you think that your God is not perfectly moral?
No, I believe that he is perfectly moral, and I don't believe it's relative.
Okay, he's perfectly moral. Would he give a command that is immoral?
He allows immorality.
That's not what I asked. Would he give a command that is immoral?
So let me distinguish what you're saying. Like, command someone to do an immoral act is different than making a command that allows for immorality. Does that make sense?
Making command.
Can I give you an example?
Allows for immorality. Yeah, no, it feels like you're being like a little weasel about it. Because it's been tough, Joseph, to get you to answer questions directly. That's why I've had to repeat my question so many times.
Yeah, and part of that is because like when you're talking about things like this, you're asking me a lot of very broad general questions, which is fine. But in order to answer very distinctly and accurately, there has to be a lot of, definitions that we agree on and distinctions that we can make.
But you're also making pretty big sweeping claims by saying that God is perfect, that he is morally perfect.
Yeah.
Perfection is a broad sweeping. It allows for absolutely no error.
Correct.
Which means that you then would have to say that everything he does is morally perfect.
Right. Yeah.
I would say that it is not morally perfect to give people instructions on how to own people as property and how to beat those people that they own as property as well.
Can I give an example of like the way I see it in context?
You can try, but it's going to be more gross defending slavery and not babies. Because again, you said that like babies are evil and deserve to be slaughtered, but like it's okay,
that's not what I said.
Slavery. You did. I asked you if babies were evil, and if you said that if God were to slaughter everyone for being evil, that the babies would be taken too. So that implies that they're evil and that they would be deserving of slaughter. But you can't condemn slavery. So it's like, why can you not condemn infant slaughtering? Sorry, why can you not condemn infant slaughtering or slavery?
Do you want me to answer that or go back to the original question?
Well, that was more rhetorical, just to point out how gross the things you're saying are, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the example that I would give is like, do you have kids?
No. Thank
Okay. I'm sure you've been around kids. And if you see like a child doing something that is not the ideal, right? And you could pick any scenario.
We're still talking about babies. Babies typically are like still in diapers, can't even like walk or talk.
I was talking about an older kid. Let's say a 5 to 6 year
Why
old.
would you say baby?
They're just children.
Okay, so would like infants also be worthy of slaughtering?
Are we going back to that?
Well, that was the original question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was a rhetorical question, and we were going back.
Well, you were
But
answering.
we can go there if you like.
That's what you were speaking about. So.
Well, no, I was talking about the Old Testament laws about slavery, but we can go to the infants if you like. Just
so why
let
were
me know
you
which one you
talking
want.
about 5 and 6 year olds if you're talking about slavery?
As an example for like the way that God gives laws in the Old Testament.
Gotcha. So if a 5 or 6 year old is not doing the ideal, then it's okay to let them own people's property.
That's not where I was going. Would you like to hear the scenario?
Is it going to be as disgusting as the rest of your arguments have been?
Well, no. If you would let me put words in my mouth, it won't be, I promise. Yeah.
Well, you've defended slavery and said that babies are evil, so.
Well, if you'd like to actually explore one of those, I'd be happy to.
I've been trying to, but you've been completely dishonest with me the entire time.
That's certainly not my intention.
Because I've read you verses that clearly condone slavery, and you're like, yeah, but I don't think that God would do that.
Well, that's not. Anyway, let me give my example, and then we can discuss it if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. So let's say that you have a 5 or 6 year old that is, hanging out with your dog, and he starts to pat him, and he starts patting him harder than he should, right? The ideal is to pet the dog. Most dogs like petting more than patting. But for this instance, you might say, hey, that's too hard, pat softer. They might not be the ideal, but what you're doing is you're curbing the bad behavior. Most people would say that is good parenting. And so while the laws in the Old Testament are not what we'd call ideal, they're not commands to commit evils. They are curbing what evil was in the surrounding nations and saying, hey, you're not allowed to go that far. And you see it progressively.
Let's look at Exodus 21, starting in verse 20. When a slave owner strikes a male or female slave with a rod and the slave dies immediately, the owner shall be punished. But if the slave survives a day or two, there is no punishment, for the slave is the owner's property.
Yeah, what I'm trying to tell you applies to this instance as well.
Really? So you can beat your slaves nearly to death, and that's like, well, at least we're compromising.
But is the scripture commanding you to do that, or is it saying you are not allowed to be as evil as your neighbors?
Where does it say anything about their neighbors in this passage?
It doesn't. But that's what I'm saying. That's the context of this passage, is that God was setting rules for his people that were not allowing them to be as evil as their neighbors. This is not telling them you should do this, or this is the right way to live. It's saying you cannot be as evil as those around you.
So when it says there is no punishment, for the slave is the owner's property, why would there be no punishment?
My argument is the same.
I understand your argument is the same. My question still stands. Why is there no punishment?
Yeah, so that's an answer I can't give you. Why does God not strike me down whenever I do bad things, even though that's what I deserve?
Okay. Joseph,
yeah.
You're really, really infuriating to engage with because you are being so intellectually dishonest. The evidence that I present you try to weasel out of by either pivoting to a different topic or not engaging with what I'm actually saying. You've defended absolute atrocities simply because you cannot come to terms with the fact that your God did something reprehensible. And for all of those reasons, I no longer want to continue to have a conversation with you. So have an evening. Fucking Christ, man. Hey, I'm assuming your name is Zachary. Above 18?
Yeah.
All right. And what pronouns should we use for you?
He, him.
What is your religion or lack thereof, Zachary?
Do you track that?
What?
Are you tracking that? Not that I care at all.
Oh, it's on the YouTube version of the stream. I have the guest's name, so people can
Word.
scroll through the VOD easier.
I'm assuming you're pro-life.
That's a weird religion. I've never heard of the religion. I'm assuming you're pro-life.
What? Oh, yeah. Did you ask me a question? Sorry.
Yeah, ask what your religion was.
Christianity.
Okay, maybe you can answer for me then. Why do Christians worship an a-hole?
I don't know. I'm assuming you're pro-life.
It's weird that you keep saying that. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Why do Christians
No, well,
worship
your
an a-hole?
your whole thing with the last guy was that killing innocent babies is wrong.
Yeah, abortion has never happened to a baby before. That would be infanticide. So why do Christians worship an
Okay,
a-hole?
why? So, what's the distinction from a human level between a human fetus and a human baby? How is one less human?
A baby would be a born child.
Yes,
so
but how
why
is that
do
less
Christians
human?
worship an a-hole?
No, but that's no less human.
I didn't say whether or not it was like of the human species. I just said that abortion has never happened to a baby. So there's
Okay,
no reason
so why
to
don't all humans have
when I
human
s-
rights?
Hi, can you engage with my topic, or are you going to continue to try to like corner me
Well,
into an
you
abortion
can't
debate? 'Cause-
defend. You can't seem to defend your point.
Okay, because I don't want to pivot into abortion. I've already established abortion has never ever happened to a baby.
Okay, but it's happened to humans. It happens to 75 million humans every year.
That's more than the actual number.
No, it's not. It's 73 million. Sorry, rounded up 2 million. It's
The
over
highest
2
figure
every
I've ever
second.
heard is 66.
So it's 73. World Health Organization. It's like the first thing when it's on the abortion page. Regardless, like the lowest estimates are like 42 million. That's still over 1 every second.
Yeah, so I don't
Okay,
really
so
want to pivot
within
into
that-
an abortion debate with you. I've already explained abortion does not happen to babies.
Okay, do you want to talk about New Testament?
I'd like you to talk about the topic above my head.
Okay. What do you have to say about the New Testament?
About the New Testament? Sure. So in the New Testament, we see the introduction of the idea of hell as torment and damnation for those who don't accept Jesus. I think it would be reprehensible for a creator to create such a place and then an all-loving God to allow any of his creations to go to said place.
Did he create it?
Yes.
Okay, who sends us there?
Also him.
Does he?
Yes.
What is hell?
What is hell?
Mm-hmm.
The scripture would support the idea of it being eternal conscious torment, though some people, they go more for an annihilationist point of view.
Okay. Would you say it's the complete lack of God's presence?
I would say that might be an aspect of it, but again, we do see conscious torment represented multiple times in the text.
Is it a complete lack of God's presence?
But that's not the only thing that characterizes it. There is also the conscious
Yes,
torment.
no, but the point is the lock is on the inside when it comes to hell. It's not God's choice to send us there. We
If the
send
lock was
ourselves
on the
there.
inside, then no one would be confined to hell. They would be able to leave hell. Are people
Exactly.
able
So
to
it's a
leave hell?
complete separation from everything that God stands
If
for.
someone
so it's
is in
the
hell, are they
complete
able to
opposite
leave?
of a life lived with God.
If someone is in hell, are they able to leave?
Hmm?
They are?
Well, not in hell. There's like a middle place right now until Jesus comes back, technically speaking. But no,
Okay,
once
if
Jesus comes
someone
back.
is in hell, are they
Yeah.
able to leave?
No, they're not able to leave.
Okay, so then the lock would not be on the inside, because that would mean that they are able to leave at any time. That is what a lock being on the inside would mean.
Yeah, like, sure, I'll grant you that. But that doesn't address the point. We send ourselves. It's a complete lack of God's presence. If we
We
choose to
send
live in a complete lack of God's
ourselves.
presence, we will exist in a complete lack of God's presence.
So, can I choose to not worship God?
Yes, that's
And-
what millions
and
and
not go to
millions
hell?
and billions of people have done.
No, and go to heaven.
No,
Yeah, okay, so that's not our choice then, because I would choose to do
it
that. I would
absolutely
choose to
is
not
your-
worship
it
God and go
absolutely
to
is your
heaven.
choice. Hmm?
I would choose to not worship God and go to heaven. That's my choice.
It's not a choice. It's like saying
Oh,
going
okay, so we don't actually get the choice. Cool. Glad we've clarified that.
what? That's the
You said we
like,
choose to go to
there's
hell. Okay, I choose not to go to hell, but I also choose to not worship God.
no. You don't choose your destination. You choose what you do every second of every day of your whole life.
Okay, so we don't get to choose whether or not we go to hell. So we're not the ones who send ourselves to hell. That's interesting.
It's everything you do that sends you to hell.
Okay, that's just like the third time you've contradicted yourself immediately after saying something.
How is that a contradiction? What's a contradiction?
Because you
Can
said that we
define a
choose to go to
contradiction?
hell.
Can
Yeah,
you
so it would be
define a
presenting.
contradiction?
It would be presenting both P and not P. You said that we choose to go to hell,
Mhm.
and then you
Okay,
and
yeah.
then you later, like 10 seconds later, said that we don't get to choose whether or not we go to hell.
No, well, yeah, you know what I mean. We can. You say I want to.
And I don't know what you mean. I can't read your mind, so I can only go by the things you say, and the things you said were contradictory.
Okay, you're good at this thing. What's okay? But New Testament scripture. What do you got?
Yeah, so the idea of hell is really only present. in
Okay,
New
what do you have
Testament
about
scripture.
anything that actually pertains to the life from the second you're conceived to the second you die?
That there is unnecessary suffering.
How do you define unnecessary suffering?
Suffering that is not like a natural consequence of anyone's actions.
How does natural define necessary?
Well, what I'm by necessary. Okay, we can be more general and say that it's not that it must occur.
Like,
If you want to go
That's-
with like
I
the
don't-
typical definition of necessary being like something that must happen. Yeah, so it's suffering that does not have to happen.
that mean like what suffering has to happen by your measure?
Yeah, I'd say none. None would have to if God was
No
actually like all
suffering has
powerful
to
and
happen.
all loving. But because there is suffering that happens unnecessarily, then I would say that makes God an a-hole.
If there's no such thing as suffering, how is there such thing as any opposite of suffering?
Wait, when did I say there's no such thing as suffering?
You said that would be. What'd you say? You said no suffering is what?
I think you've completely misunderstood me. I said,
You said no suffering is necessary.
yeah, I would say that there is no such thing as necessary suffering if God is all powerful and all loving.
Well, you'd rather be a robot.
Yes,
You'd rather feel nothing
that's not
than
what
to
that
feel
means.
highs and lows. You'd
No, you would
rather
only
feel
feel
nothing than to
highs.
feel highs and lows. What?
You would only feel highs.
No, there'd be no such. There's no such thing as high with low. It's all the same. There's no high without lows. You said it. There's no P without Q or whatever you said.
No, I did not say that.
Yeah, whatever you said.
But let me ask
How
you
can it be a
this.
high without a low? How
Do
can
you
it be
think
a
that we
high
have
without a low?
Do you think that we have free will in heaven?
Like yeah, but there's no. It's a place of total grace. Like there's no
Okay.
desire
So
to do
there's-
anything
So there is
sinful or
free will,
anything along those lines.
but there's
What?
no desire to do anything sinful.
What'd you say? I couldn't hear you.
I asked if there was free will. You said yes, but there's no desire to do anything sinful. If it's possible to have a place where you can have free will and no desire to be sinful,
That's what we had. Have you not, dude? It's like we addressed this like 3 pages into the
That's-
book.
No, because if they had no desire to be sinful, they wouldn't have committed sin.
They didn't. Okay, that's good. They had a complete place of grace. They had no concept of sin, but they had concept of obedience.
Okay, so they wouldn't know that being disobedient was wrong.
No, they did know that being disobedient was wrong. It was a direct command.
But you said that they had
Because-
they had no concept of sin.
Mm-hmm.
So if they didn't have a concept of sin, how would they know that it was sinful
Well,
to disobey?
it's like so simple. Like, hey Adam, do this. Hey Adam, don't do this. Like,
Right,
given,
but again, if they don't know the difference between right and wrong, they wouldn't know that it's
Mm-hmm.
wrong to disobey.
yes, but he still knows how to obey and to obey.
But they don't
He's
know that
like-
it's wrong to disobey. That is the point of what
No,
I'm saying.
nobody's told like, hey, like you have to obey. If you don't obey, you will die. Like he, this is literally, like that's the whole thing. You're
Do they know
gonna
what
die
death
if you
is?
don't obey. What?
Do they know what death is?
I mean, yeah. Why? would
How?
Do
would
you
they know what
really
death
think he's
is?
just like, yo, you're gonna die, but they don't
How
know
would
what
they
death
know
is?
what death is? Have they experienced death? Have they witnessed death?
They were made in God's image. They knew whatever God wanted them to know. Death was obviously one of them. If he's explaining to them, you will die.
So they knew whatever God wanted to know. So they
Wanted
knew
them
what
to know.
death was.
Hmm?
If they knew what death was,
Mm-hmm.
would death not be a negative circumstance?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, generally people would say dying is like a negative
Pokey Gurumi.
circumstance.
Why'd he lie? Why'd who lie? What?
Well, God did lie and say that they would die if they ate the fruit, and they like
Did
he
they
said
die?
he said the
Are they
very
still
day.
alive?
He said the
He
very
never said
day.
the very day. He never
did.
said the very
He
day.
said the day that you eat of the fruit, you will die.
Yeah. Do you know the English language? Like that's in the Greek. It doesn't
even
say.
in the Hebrew, the word
Yeah,
that is
that's not.
used
That's
refers to a calendar day.
no. It's yes on the day that you eat the apple. So the day you eat the apple,
It wasn't an apple.
you will. What?
It wasn't an apple.
What was it?
It was
fruit,
it
whatever.
was just fruit. Just clarifying
Okay,
that.
sure.
The Hebrew meaning,
It doesn't.
the word that is used for
That's
day
you're lying.
refers to an actual day.
Yes, the day that they eat the apple.
Oh God!
The
Dalton,
day that
is
I
Dalton
ate
in
spaghetti.
here? I'll invite him if he's not. Because it's just like it does mean like the day you eat it, you will surely die. And they
No,
didn't. But
yes,
again,
the day you commit this action, you will surely die.
Well, they didn't die that day, did they?
No, they didn't die that day, but they ate the fruit that day. Like
And
that's
on the day that they ate the fruit, did they die?
Oh my gosh. Do you actually think this is scholarly consensus?
Let's engage with what I just said. If he says the day you do this, you will die.
Oh my God. Okay.
Did they die the day they did it?
Okay. The day I rob a bank, I will go to jail. I'm not going to jail I'm not going to federal prison right that day. But the day I commit that act, the thing that follows is bound to come.
That
surely,
makes no
100%.
fucking sense.
What do you mean
You
that
wouldn't
makes no
say
sense?
it that way.
What? That's exactly.
You would not specify the day I do this thing will happen if you don't believe it's going to happen on that actual day.
The day that thing happened, death was 100% guaranteed. That's what is being implied. Like this is all of like church history and Jewish history. Like
no, that is post-biblical interpretation to try
that's
to
not
rectify the fact
post-biblical
that God
interpretation. That is
lied.
not. You are lying. That is not post-biblical interpretation. If you ask a Jewish person today, that is the interpretation.
If I say the day I go to a park, I will have a picnic, do I just mean that
That's
like
no, because
if I
the
eventually
picnic
go
is
to a park,
happening.
then someday down the line I'll have a picnic? Or
No,
does it
I
mean
just
that
gave you an
on the day
example.
that I do that action,
I just gave
that
you an example.
other thing will follow? Yeah, and it made no fucking sense because he wouldn't say
Okay,
on the day I rob a bank I will go to jail if you're not actually going to jail on the day, unless
Because
you're
the
saying
day
something
is
not
talking
true.
about the robbing of the bank or the eating of the
The
fruit.
day would refer to both.
Oh my gosh, this is just not what any of Judaism says. Like you can interpret the text however you want, but all of history disagrees with you.
It's not really
And
interpretation.
all of application disagrees with you. It absolutely is your interpretation. When
Yeah,
all of history says what
I
I'm saying.
disagree with anyone who believes in the Jewish or Christian God, so I'm not afraid to disagree with them about what the text says.
Sure.
The text very clearly says that
Oh
the day
my
they
gosh.
eat the fruit would be the day they would die. That is what that means. On the day they ate the fruit, they did not die, so it was not true.
Okay, what else do you got? I can't get through to you on this clearly.
Every single time you've shown your ass, you just try to pivot to a different topic. It's kind of entertaining.
No, I get. How do you not understand the analogy? Oh my gosh, he's talking about the day they commit the act. That's what the day is.
I understand there's a day they commit the act.
Yes,
what that
and then
sentence
death is surely
means
promised
is, on the day they commit that act will be the day they experience that consequence.
Oh my God. Okay, if you could go back like 3,000 years and read like American, like, I know this sounds crazy. You could go back like 3,000 years, and today there's a different interpretation on how to read Native American language. Would you tell them how to read the writings in their caves? Would you tell them, hey, no, this is this, not this. Your story's a complete lie. Their whole spiritual life and everything is built on all these stories and all these tales, would you go
How
back
to
and say, hey, this
read
is
the
actually how this is
writings
read,
in their
your story's completely wrong?
caves?
What?
How to read the writings in their caves? I'm not saying the story is wrong. I'm saying that, like,
But you
the
are.
God...
You are.
No, I'm not saying the story is wrong. Well, first
You're
of all,
saying they
I
didn't
do
die
think the
on that
story is
day.
wrong, and
It's
that it's
not
not
implying
true.
they died on that day. It's implying they would die.
That doesn't mean the story is wrong. That just means that God said something that wasn't true.
No, he... Okay, so you're misinterpreting. You're, like, misrepresenting the story. It's fine. That's why I said, do you want to move on?
Fucking
I know
God.
you think this
Zachary.
is a gotcha. I wish it was a gotcha. I wish I were being gotcha'd right now.
I wish you would get anything, honestly.
Yeah, okay. What were the two things you got? You didn't even want to talk about the thing I came in here. You're talking about babies dying, but you won't talk about
You came into my Christianity debate, trying to bait me into an abortion debate.
Your points in the last debate was entirely about death of babies. That was your entire point.
Yeah, an abortion has never happened to a baby. Easy. Close that one on the lid. Then you justified slavery for a little bit. Gross. Then you justified
we didn't talk about
called
slavery. What?
Sorry, did we not talk about slavery? Was that the last guy?
No, that was the other guy.
Oh, that was the other guy. Sorry. All you like shitty people run together in my head. Like, you justified shitty things. You haven't been able to follow
justified the death
any of the
of
arguments.
2 humans every second. Do you know what a D&E abortion is? There is one every 10 to 15 seconds. They chop the baby's legs off, they chop the baby's arms up, they crush up the baby's inside, they cut its head off from its neck, and they puncture its skull through its brains. That happens every 10 to 15 seconds.
So what you're talking about is one of the least common forms of abortion?
The least common. It happens every 10 to 15 seconds. This is simple, the most simple math. The most simple math. If an abortion happens every 2 seconds, and 3 to 5% of abortions are D&E on a living, healthy fetus, it's the most simple. It's every 10 to 15
Those
seconds.
are typically not done on healthy fetuses.
It's between 40 and 60% of the time on a healthy, living fetus. The other 40 to 60.
I would need evidence to support that.
Like, this is like global. Like, there's no specific paper. You just have to do some research. These are the conclusions you will come to. Okay.
There's no specific evidence. Just look into it.
No, I didn't say specific evidence. I didn't say specific evidence.
Yeah,
I said there's no goal.
You made a very wild claim. I would need a source.
How is it a wild claim? How is any of that wild? Okay, what percent of abortions do you think are D&E?
I'm not making a claim. You are. So give me your
okay,
evidence
but
for
fix
it.
the claim. You said it's a wild claim. Why is it a wild claim? Fix it.
Zachary, you have to give me evidence as to why I should believe what you said.
Okay, I can't leave the app and talk at the same time. I can send you a full paragraph with all the exact numbers if you want.
Oh, a whole paragraph.
You are kind of funny. I'll give you that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just I'm pretty well versed on abortion. That used to be like political debates, including like abortion used to be like my bread and butter of my streams. It's only been since January that I've been talking more intensely about religious stuff. I have a degree in biological science. I probably understand more about abortion than you do. I don't particularly care to have that conversation right now. I've established that abortion doesn't happen to babies. If you wanted to get into like a personhood debate, that'd be a completely different topic.
Okay, for sure. Well,
because if you're just going to say that anything that is like of the human species and is alive, then every time you jerk off is like a G-side.
No, that's not true. I'm not talking about anything of the human species. I'm talking about a distinct human being with its full set of DNA. It's entirely its own human.
With a
sperm
full set
and
of DNA.
piss and all that stuff.
How do you decide what is a full set of DNA? So like Down
at the moment of
syndrome
conception,
people?
at the moment of conception, the entirety of a human's DNA is complete.
So if people are people who have Turner syndrome, they're not human?
Their full DNA is complete. Just because it's not the normal full complete DNA, their full human DNA is still complete at the moment of conception.
But if they're missing a chromosome, how is it full and complete?
That is their own full complete human DNA.
So human DNA can mean just anything.
No, it can't mean just any. What are you? Come on.
Well, because you said that what human DNA is can be like what complete human DNA is can be specific to a person. How does that work?
What? I don't understand what you're asking. Do you know what human DNA, what? What is your question?
So people with Turner syndrome, they would be
Yes,
missing a
people with,
chromosome. So that would be
yes,
an incomplete set of human DNA, yet you would still consider them to
go
be
tell
human.
that to them. Their entire DNA is
I still
complete
think they're human.
specifically for them.
You're the one defining what complete human DNA is.
Yeah, I never said it was exactly 46. I said it's an entirely complete set of that individual's DNA.
But if that can
I'm not sure what
include
you're not
different amounts
understanding.
of chromosomes, then how do you decide what is a complete set of DNA and what isn't?
They're both complete. It's all complete. It's complete. It's a human. It's like what? You know
If complete human DNA can be 45 chromosomes, 46 chromosomes, 47, then what makes an actual how do you decide what is a complete set of DNA?
I'm not it that like
just to establish a baseline, what does DNA stand for?
it literally does not matter. You got me there. You
Okay,
got me.
cool.
Sure. Like I don't think you're making the point you think you're making.
Well, I think the point that I'm making is like it's weird to say complete human DNA and then not have like an actual definition.
The individual DNA is fully complete. It's not going to change. It's complete. It's done.
Okay,
it's
then
done.
for a sperm, they have a complete set of human DNA. So a sperm would
but
be
it's
a person.
my DNA. It's not the end of my entire DNA.
You're gonna hate when you find out what children are.
What?
Children have half DNA from their.
Oh my God, that's exactly what I'm saying. They have their own DNA. Oh my gosh, you understand?
No, it's not their
Yes.
own. It'd be 50%. Well, it's roughly 50% because mitochondrial
But it's their
DNA is
own. So
and the
no
Y
one has
chromosome is slightly
their own. What
it's
are you
not
saying?
their own.
So,
Where do they get it from?
so you don't have your own DNA? I
No,
know
I
you
have
got
half
it from your
each
parents.
of my parents.
You're not your own person? Are you saying you're your parents' person?
No, you're the one trying to
You're your
define it
own.
that
Oh
way,
my
Zachary.
gosh, you're rage baiting me so good right now.
You're the one trying to define it that way, Zachary. By saying you
Oh my
have to
gosh.
have your own DNA to be a person.
Yes, you have your own DNA. I have my own DNA.
No one has their own DNA. They have unique. They have
God.
a,
What
they
is
have
your
a
DNA?
unique
What is your
genome.
DNA? How would you define
typically.
your DNA? How would you define your DNA?
Oh my fucking God! You don't even know what DNA stands for, and you're trying to lecture me.
Regardless, that completely does not matter at all.
It doesn't
know
matter at all
exactly
that
what
you
it
don't
is.
know the most. You don't even know the most basic fact about DNA, and you're trying to lecture
You don't
me.
know the most basic. You're saying we don't have our own
Inheritance?
DNA. We have our own DNA. That's what makes us us. What's your name? Robot something? What's your real name? T? That's what makes T T. It's your DNA. Your DNA makes you T. That's what's great about you. You have your full DNA from the moment you were conceived. Every possible thing that could come about you was decided at the moment you were conceived, when your mother and your father
You're a
perfectly
determinist.
became one, making
Interesting.
you. What?
You just said like a very deterministic viewpoint.
What? Say something.
I just didn't know you were a determinist. That's interesting. Yeah, so that's just not how DNA works.
How is that not? Oh my gosh, how is that not how DNA works?
Where does 50% of our DNA come from?
Our father.
And where does the other roughly
And
50%
our
come from?
mother. That's
Right,
why I said when
so-
your father and your mother have sex and his sperm goes on her egg, you in your entirety were created as a human.
That's just not true.
That just absolutely is true. Absolutely
No.
is true.
Okay, so I have a question then. And yeah, I don't like having abortion debates with people who like clearly know nothing about it. But
What do you?
just a
you
quick question.
haven't-
I went to school with a pair of identical twins. So which of them was alive?
Both of them are alive.
Oh, but that would be a contradiction.
That wouldn't be a contradiction.
Well, if you say that life begins at conception, only
Yes.
one zygote would have been present at conception. So only one of them can be alive. So which one of them was it? Was it Patrick or was it Sean?
Time out.
He's got to go Google identical twins real quick. Well, while he does that, look at how close this is to my goal. Holy fuck. Do you think we could get that to 9,700 tonight?
Okay. You know what? I'll grant you like half points on that. Grant you half points on that. That was good.
Much
But
appreciated.
they're still their own person with their own DNA.
No,
That
they're not.
doesn't
They have identical DNA. That's kind of the whole thing with identical twins.
Yeah, but they still possess that DNA.
Yeah, it's the same DNA.
Yeah. Okay, I'll need to think a little bit further how to work around that. That's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, but I feel like you haven't like conceded to anything else, and I just did there.
Because I haven't said anything wrong like you have.
You haven't said anything wrong. You haven't corrected me though. Like you're saying I'm wrong, but then you're not correcting anything. Like you're not proving you're right. I did correct you. You didn't correct me on any statistic I laid down.
Well, I just corrected you when you said that identical twins have different DNA. I corrected you and said no, they have the same DNA.
I never made that claim. You brought up identical twins.
This is all recorded, right?
What? Yeah, you can go back. I never made that.
You never made the claim that they have different DNA.
Huh? No, you asked me a question. I said, hold on, let me go look. And I came back and I'm like, yeah, you get half points on that. I'll give you that. Like, what?
Yeah, and after that, you said that their DNA is different.
I didn't say their DNA is different. I said they're still each human. You can go back and listen. I don't care.
Everyone, dude, there's 130 people on the TikTok stream right now.
Okay.
And let's see how many are on YouTube. Only 16 on YouTube.
Okay, sure, but like,
YouTube.
I'd love to see the clip. I don't think I said that.
Not to insult you guys, because I appreciate you guys being here on YouTube, but
yeah, only 60 days.
Where is everyone? Where is everyone on YouTube? Yeah, so just
DNA changes over our life. How does our DNA change over our life? I really do not think that is fact.
Through mutations. Through mutations. Cannot hear you when you're teacupped. All right, Zachary. You're done.
Hi.
Hey, John. What's up?
Nothing much. Apparently, according to the poll that was taken in the debate I was having tonight, I got bodied. But I did find the other half of that point that guy was going to give you. So I just want to give you the full point.
Oh, thank you so much. I was like really bummed out, like, oh, partial credit, Zachary. So now I don't have to cry myself to sleep about that. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I know you were really worried about it, but yeah. So I had a debate tonight on like sort of a formal discussion type thing on full preterism, and apparently I just did horrible.
Who was hosting?
It was Coco, Controversial Compass. Do you know that account? No. Okay. Yeah, he does a lot of like debates and everything like that. But this guy Cole HHH or something challenged me on full preterism.
Oh, that guy? He has no points of view.
Well, apparently full preterism, which yeah, it was a majority Christian, like full preterist sort of crowd. So I expected to lose the thing, but you know, it's whatever. But I needed to come by and decompress just a little bit on like a reasonable space. But yeah, I see you're having fun over here.
Some fun. A lot of just icky men tonight, but is that really that unusual?
You're like, yeah, that's par for the course.
And I don't even play golf. Well, were you wanting to hang out while I bring up the next guest, or?
Sure. I mean, I could stay for the next guest. Sorry, I didn't mean to linger too long. If you want me to drop down, I can.
Up to you, man.
Okay. No, I mean, I can stay. I got time.
All right, I've got someone in here. I've got Reel, spelled R-E-E-L, Salvation. Okay, that's a child. What the hell is happening?
I have no idea.
Real Salvation, are you with us?
Sorry, my sweet daughter, my son and my daughter were playing, and he bonked her on the head. So she came up to me and she was telling me.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
Sorry to hear that.
It's okay. She's doing okay.
Do you want to tend to that, or?
I think I should. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I know I was coming up here, but let me tend to that, and then if I have time, I'll come back up.
All right. I respect that more than trying to continue to have a debate while your child is crying. So I'll give points for that. Half a point.
Honestly, I thought it was a recording at first.
It kind of almost did sound that way.
Yeah.
Babe, Christian enters stream. Beating his... No. That'd be a great clip title, but no. Hi, Arcana. Good to see you.
Yeah. So have you ever interacted with anybody about full preterism?
Not really. I'd probably just make a joke about it.
Well, apparently, when I was over there, nobody knew what it was. Even I, I had only briefly kind of looked at what preterism is, but it was it's such a baseless position to hold. Even everything that I found online was full preterism is kind of bullshit, but partial preterism is the strongest version of it. And the opponent was actually arguing full preterism. So
interesting. Yeah, I've talked to Cole before, and he's never had an argument. He kind of just comes in vibes. So I get pretty frustrated with him because he's just yeah, well, I don't know if that means that, and I'm not gonna give any description of God. I don't know. Sorry, y'all. I know when I start to yawn, it's not a great sign, but just to be he's so vibes based. It's tough to have a conversation with him.
Yeah, no, it was a little tough to have a conversation with him tonight, but he essentially provided a bunch of ad hoc claims wrapped in a trench coat and was trying to pass it off as something real. And right. Of course, yeah, exactly.
We've got another guest.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Dexter.
Hello.
You above 18?
Yep.
Great. If chat were to refer to you, would they call you a he, a she, a they, or something else?
I'm a guy.
So if chat were going to refer to you, would they call you a he, a she, a they, or something else?
A he.
Well,
that's obvious.
Well, it's not obvious. Can't always tell what someone prefers to go by just by hearing them say a couple words. So, Dexter, what is your religion or lack thereof?
I'm a Christian.
How did I guess that? So why do Christians worship an a-hole?
So what standard do you use to judge that?
Yeah, it's my fifis.
So you don't have a standard then?
I just told you what my standard was.
What is that standard?
My fifis.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I think it's I feel that condoning slavery is an asshole move.
So it's just your feelings then about why he's an asshole.
I'm not sure what you think my fifis would be otherwise. I'm not going off of John's fifis. I'm not going off of your fifis.
I don't know. I'm not making
whose fifis am I feeing? I'm feeing my fees.
Why are you asking me to explain when you're the one claiming it's your fifis?
I'm not asking you to explain. I'm explaining to you. It's my fifis.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So it just seems like you're saying your morals are your feelings.
Well,
so morality is subjective?
No, I don't believe it is, but I'm asking you what your stance is.
Morality is objective. What would objective morality be grounded in?
Well, that's a different argument. We can argue about that if you want, but
sure. What would objective
I'm trying to
morality
focus on.
be grounded
I'm trying to focus on your judge for what is moral. So
it's pretty clear that you're not. So if
I'm not.
you're not trying to have a
Not what?
conversation about subjective versus objective morality when you're asking me my grounding for making a moral determination?
I mean, I guess that's about it. But what I'm asking is your personal, what you think counts as like enough morals to say that it's the case, right? Like what your stance is. That's what I'm asking. And you said it's your feelings, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? So, okay, so it's your feelings. So why should anyone listen to your feelings?
Oh, because I can like back them up.
With what? With truth?
With evidence, with reason.
So you're appealing to truth for your feelings. You're appealing to an objective basis to say why others should listen to you.
I'm not appealing to an objective truth because I don't think that there necessarily is objective.
Well, you just said you don't think there's objective truth. So if I say that
no,
an
I
apple is
clarified
green,
objective
that's not
moral
objective.
truth. Different thing.
Okay, so then why would you appeal towards truth to say what others should and shouldn't believe about morals?
Okay, so wait, can you repeat
No, you
for me
didn't
what I
answer
said
that.
I was referencing for?
So you said your
morality?
basis is your feelings, and I
said
asked you.
I can give reason and evidence to back it up.
Right, and I'm saying, why would you appeal to that if it's just subjective and just based on your feelings?
I appeal to that so people can make their own decisions based off of having the evidence.
Well, no, you're treating your own feelings as if they're objective.
No.
Right, to just control other people.
No, they didn't say anything about being objective. They've always stated that it's a subject.
No, they're appealing to truth to say why others should believe their feelings, and that's ridiculous. Because if morals are just subjective,
truth there, Dexter?
To truth. So what is objective? So she's appealing to evidence.
No, you didn't
and
define
objective facts, right?
Dexter, I use they them.
Okay, well, I still think you're a girl, but we can disagree on that.
Yeah, you're a shithead. That's cool.
By your feelings, I don't care about you.
I'm gonna just change your pronouns real quick because if you can just say that I'm a girl without any sort of grounding, then I'm gonna say that you are too.
I mean,
so
is your morality just based on what I do?
Is my gender identity based off of your opinion?
No, that's a cop out. You're not avoiding my question. So you think that you can be whatever you can do whatever you want because I have a different opinion to you?
No, I'm just being consistent with you. If you can just call anyone you want a girl even though they're not, then I'm gonna call you a girl even though you're not.
But shouldn't we be consistent with our own morals, not someone else's, just because they're attacking ours?
Why?
Because there are morals. Otherwise, we're being hypocritical.
Treat people the way they want to be treated?
No, yes. The principle, that's a principle of Christianity. So you treat others the way that you would like to be treated, but that's a moral. So that's your own moral.
So you treated me by calling me a girl even though I'm not. So clearly you want to be treated as if you're a girl even though you're not.
That makes no sense.
Unless you're not following one of the principles of Christianity, which not exclusive to Christianity.
Treat others the way that you want to be treated. I want you to refer to me as the... No, listen, don't interrupt me. I want you to treat me the way that
You treated me by calling me a girl even though I'm not. So I'm going to treat you the way you clearly want to be treated because that's how you treated me.
That is not how I want to be treated. That's not my standard.
Oh, so you broke the rule of treating others how you want to be
No,
treated.
it's not the standard. You're applying a different standard to mine.
It's not the standard. So treating others the way you want to be treated is not the standard.
No, because you're saying the way that I want to be treated is by calling others whatever you want, but that's not what I'm saying. I want to be treated by... Listen to me. I want other people to treat me by calling me a boy because I believe that I am a boy. Right?
Okay,
and I believe you are a girl. So my standard for you would be...
So
okay, this is ridiculous.
If your standard is you get to call me whatever you want, then that shows that the way you want to be treated is by being called whatever you want.
So that's not my standard.
Oh, so you don't follow the principle of treat others the way you want to be treated.
So you're saying that is nonsense, because you're saying,
if you're treating me a way other than the way you want to be treated, then you're not following that rule.
I am treating you the way I want to be treated.
Okay, then I get to call you whatever I want.
I'm not calling you whatever I want. I'm calling you what I believe you are.
And I believe you are a girl because I say so.
Yeah, they believe you're a girl.
But I don't. That's not my standard of belief either.
Hold on, Dexter.
You're
Dexter,
appealing to my standard to say what you
no,
should
no,
do.
we're
That's
not,
ridiculous.
Frank Turk, no, we're not. Listen, you're identifying as a little bitch right now, and they are just correctly identifying you. I don't see a problem with this.
They're just saying whatever they want at this point.
Well, it's just like, you're not really making that determination based off of anything. I've never been karyotyped, so you don't know what my pronouns are. I've never flushed whole on camera, so you don't know what my genitals are.
It is based on something. That's a projection. You're the one who's saying it based on nothing. This is ridiculous.
I'm saying it based off of nothing.
But we've completely pivoted away from what I was initially trying to talk about.
Oh, godless, I'm sorry. It says I have to drop you, and I just got restricted. Oh, because the little bitch thing. That sucks, since Dexter's the one who's being openly transphobic, but Engineer's the one who gets booted off by
transphobic to call someone a girl. That's ridiculous.
It's
Is it transphobic to go against someone's wants? So you went against my wants, so is that transphobic as well? You called me a girl, is that transphobic?
You are not actually trans. I am. You can't commit transphobia to non-trans people. So, it is transphobic.
You violated your own standards.
It is transphobic to refuse to refer to a person by their specified gender identity or pronouns.
So you literally just did that. Are you gonna converse or?
Oh no, she can't. Dexter. I just don't really want transphobic people in my life. Bye, Dexter. No one liked you. That's true, Dexter. You couldn't even discuss because you got so sidetracked by your own bigotry. Damn, that sucks. We're all mourning the loss of listening to you. Dexter is used to no one liking him. You said it, not me. You said it, not me. Hello, welcome back.
Thank you. Welcome back. I'm Brandon. I'm over 18.
Brandon? Alright. Alright, Brandon, what is your religion or lack thereof? Hi, Dr. Joe.
Christian.
Alright, so maybe you can answer. Why do Christians worship an a-hole? I
don't.
That was so easy. Welcome to atheism. We're excited to have you. That's another notch in my belt. Everyone, you can pop the cork on the champagne now. It is a wonderful celebration. That might be the fastest tally I've ever gotten. Can I get some ones in chat to celebrate? Because that was so easy. Holy shit. Well, Brandon, that's great.
Okay. I mean, I can drop down if you don't want to have a conversation. That's fine.
Well, I don't really like keeping friendlies up here. So since you're an atheist now, I don't know what conversation we're really going to have.
Well, that'd be a contradiction to what I just said. I just said I'm a theist. I'm a Christian. But I just said I don't.
But then you just professed that you didn't believe in God anymore. So.
I didn't make that claim. I just said that I don't. Like you said, your question, I don't want to misrepresent it, but your question that you asked, and I said, I don't.
Yeah, which means that you don't worship the Christian God anymore. So.
Not really the case.
I guess I shouldn't have assumed that you could have converted to a different religion. You're not necessarily atheist, so I'll take half credit for deconverting you. But it was the fastest one I've ever gotten, so I got to give you some props for that.
Let me ask you this. Why is that a deconversion?
Oh, because if you don't believe in the Christian God anymore, then you're not a Christian.
What makes you think that, though?
Because you said it.
No, I understand what I said, but I'm saying, like, what makes you think that me saying that I don't worship an a-hole, other than just you perceiving him to be an a-hole, other than that?
Yeah, little syllogism.
Yes.
The Christian God is an a-hole. You said you don't worship an a-hole, therefore you don't
Yes.
worship the Christian God.
I don't think he's an a-hole, though.
Oh, Brandon. We were all having
Maybe
so
I
much
should have been more
fun.
clear. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I really, everyone just popped the corks in their champagne, Brandon, and now they can't, once you pop that cork, you can't get it back in. It's like when a woman has sex and loses all her value. Fuck. Oh, that's disappointing. That's sad for all of us.
That's a little harsh towards women.
Oh, just, that's what the Bible seems to suggest, like, constantly.
Okay, so I mean, it's fine. I can drop down if you don't want to have a discussion. I'm just saying I don't personally think that.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I have my
You know what? It's
hopes
fine.
high.
It's fine. I'll. It's okay. Clearly, you're doing a bit right now, and
Yes.
I thought this was a normal conversation. It's okay. It's fine. But thank you for having me up.
We do some goofs and gaffs in here sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being such a buzzkill. Appreciate it. He left on his own. All right. Cool. The 11th command: thou shalt not have fun. I guess. Damn. Hey, John.
Hey, bro.
You above 18?
Yeah.
What pronoun should we use for you?
Yeah, he, him.
Great. What is your religion or lack thereof?
I'm Catholic.
Okay. So, would you consider yourself under, like, the Christian umbrella? Or, because some Catholics do, some don't.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm a seminarian.
Okay. Well, let me ask, why do Christians worship an a-hole?
Okay. I would like to know, like, how did you end up with the conclusion first that the Christian God is an a-hole in the first?
Yeah, so I read the Bible, and after he, like, slaughtered a bunch of babies and animals and condoned slavery, and then had women raped as punishment, and then killed a baby for something that it had no part in, and then had women burned to death for supposed promiscuity, had some innocent women stoned to death for supposedly not being virgins. Did I say the slavery thing already? Those are just a couple of the things that I read, and I'm like, this guy is kind of an a-hole. Oh, all right. Bye, John. Damn. All right. Yeah, that's another tally. Woo! What are we? That's like 3 tonight? Holy shit. Rad. Flawless victory. Exit pursued by bear, I guess. You know, I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh, we're so close to 9,700. Can we get to 9,700 tonight? If you have not already followed me and you're watching my stream, so you think that you can just get free entertainment? You think that you can just get free entertainment? You don't have to follow me? You don't have to follow me, but you watch my streams? Ugh. What was that thing that one streamer said where she was like, $5. It's $5. That I forget what all she said, but God, that was. Ugh. You have to pay me with your follow. Okay. Can you unfollow and follow again? I'll accept that. Thank you, Butthole Jin, for the follow. Bayou Bog Oak, thank you for the corgi. I was not genuinely asking for $5 there. Let's be clear. Yeah, the who doesn't, like, you're clearly irresponsible with your money. 97-1! Fuck yeah! Love that. Thank you, guys. That's cool as hell. God, we're so close to 10K. You're not paying for Vocal Fry? Well, then I guess you're just gonna have to get it for free. Hey, Mark?
Hello.
You above 18?
Yes.
What pronouns should we use for you?
He, him.
And what is your religion or lack thereof, Mark?
Eastern Orthodoxy.
Alright, well, why do Christians worship an a-hole?
When you say a-hole, are you implying that there's some sort of ethical referent here?
I'm implying that he's an asshole.
All right, in order to be an asshole, does that imply that there are some things that people should do and should not do?
It implies that he does things that I think are just like asshole behavior.
By asshole behavior, are you implying some sort of standard of ethics?
I don't know, am I?
I'm asking you.
Because I'm just saying asshole.
All right, so what's going to be the inference rule for that?
We got ourselves a glossary, everybody. Oh, Mark. Oh, it is such a displeasure to talk to you. Yeah, so if you want to go into like moral realism, we can do that. But I mean that's a conversation that's gonna make everybody's eyes glaze over, and you're just gonna play semantics down to like the nano level, right?
All right. Well, let's be simple. Do you believe that morality is subjective?
So I have two different opinions that I'm still trying to decide between. If I do believe morality to be objective, it is from the perspective of logical consistency, not coming from a god. If I do believe morality to be subjective, it would just be that there is no standard independent of minds, because morality necessarily is going to apply to the way that agents interact with each other, which was always going to be subjective.
So which stance do you take?
Morality does not exist independent of minds.
Right, so either it's in a universal mind or it's in a particular mind, right?
Can you clarify what you mean by that?
Right, so in order for morality to be objective, it has to function as a universal principle, right?
When we say as a universal principle, that's not really what objective means.
Right, if it's objectively the case that Schmurder is wrong, then that means all rational agents are obligated to accept the proposition Schmurder is wrong in all instances.
Yeah, but you're claiming that like objective just means universal, which is not what objective means.
Okay, how are you going to define objective morality?
Objective would be independent of a mind or stance.
Right, but ethical propositions are conceptual, so it's impossible to say that morality exists apart from the mind because concepts can only exist in minds.
Okay, great. You've just proved that morality is subjective.
All right, so if morality is subjective, would it then become a particular?
What?
All right, let me put it this way. If morality is subjective, it's going to be stance-dependent?
Yeah.
Are stance-dependent propositions contingent upon the mind in question?
Are stance-dependent propositions dependent on the mind in question? Not necessarily, because multiple minds can have the same can like pose the same proposition.
Yeah, but those minds are also going to be contingent, right?
Sure. I don't know where you think you're going with this.
Right, because the problem is if morality is just going to be subjective, then no particular moral stance is going to obligate any particular rational agent. Thus, unless I accept your proposition that God is an a-hole, then it's actually not the case that God is an a-hole. What your moral system reduces down to is just, this is just not my preference. And so my question is to you, why ought I accept your preference?
I'm not claiming that me calling God an asshole is objective truth.
All right, so then you have no force for me to adhere to the proposition?
You would have to prove to me that objective morality exists for me to think that there's anything other than subjective morality, because you've just said that the morality exists in the minds, so it's impossible for it to be mind independent. That would suggest that there is only subjective morality. So you'd have to demonstrate objective morality to me.
And what I'm saying is, if you hold the proposition that morality is subjective, then you can't bind any particular rational agent to any particular moral principle.
Okay,
thus, it's actually not the case that God is an asshole.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that there is objective morality. That's just a problem you have with morality.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, well, he dropped. I was doing that kick poll, but guess we don't need to anymore. Whenever you guys see a poll like that, like the quick poll, that's a drop poll. Yeah, I prefer using the term glossary to filbro, and I've explained it before, but I'll do it again because there's probably people in here who haven't heard it. I use glossary because calling someone a filbro, it makes it really easy for them to claim that you're just like being anti-intellectual, or that you don't want to engage in discussions about philosophy, which isn't the case. And like we recognize that the so-called filbros don't actually have like deep philosophical understanding. They just read surface level things, such as the glossary. So I call them glossary. I'll say that they are being glossary or they are a glossary. Either one, it functions the same way. So that's what I call them. God, the multi-guest button never wants to open the first time. Hey, can I get your name, age, and pronouns?
Hey, 19.any.
Alright, what is your religion or lack thereof, Dot?
I'm agnostic. I'm just wondering, like, what this entire live is about. I'm just kind of confused. Yeah, I just don't understand if that, like, if that's a specific religion, or...
You don't understand my question about... Christians.
Oh, it's about Christians. Okay, yeah, I understand. I get it.
This
Yeah,
is why
never mind. I agree.
Worship an
Okay.
idol.
I used to be one. I get it now. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yep,
Have a good one.
Have a good one. Alright, that was quick. The Christian part is kind of obscured. By what? Oh no. I'm sure some of y'all remember when I had the thing that was like, convince me that the flood is real, or where everyone just thought that I was saying that the flood was real. So they all came in, they're like, the flood's not real! Oh, all the stats at the top. That's annoying. Sorry. Look, the thing, it's so difficult to make the vertical backgrounds, because TikTok puts so much shit on the screen. There's so much shit on the screen. Let's see, I can like do that, but then we're gonna have blank space at the top. Yeah, no, I hate that, sorry. No, that's, fuck! We're getting worse. Ugh! You're seeing all my secrets. Yeah, and the different phones show different things. It's thank you, John, for sending me a screenshot. Ew. Yeah, that is grossly compressed. Well, it looks fine on my end. Go back to the space on the top. It was better? The space on the top was better. Okay, I'm gonna do another poll. If you want me to lower it to where there's a space on top, do the happy face. If you want me to keep it where there's not a space on top, you'll do the sad face. So happy face if you want me to lower it. Sad face if you don't want me to lower it. Oh, wow. Okay, overwhelmingly lowering it, it seems. Okay, well. We're gonna just... Here, we'll do down to here. Like that. I can move... I don't think I can do both of them at once. I gotta move me down. No, that's not what I wanted to do. And then we'll move me down. Hello. Oh, is this better? Do you guys like this more? Fuck. Alright. I gotta temporarily put myself in front. Don't look at me. Don't perceive me. Don't you dare perceive me. Alright. Is this better? You bitches are perceiving me! That's the thing I said not to do! Damn. Okay, this is what you guys want. Oh, this feels so wrong, having the blank space at the top. And YouTube, I'm sorry that you're just having to watch all of this happen. YouTube's just sitting there like, looks fine to me. Because YouTube is consistent. Ugh. This feels so wrong. Alright.
Hello.
Hello, life with a pinch of lemon. Can I get your name, age, and pronouns?
I just go by Lemon. Any pronouns, and I'm 37.
Alright. So,
I'm an agnostic atheist. I'm only on here to say I've come across your live tonight. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. And I put a challenge out there to any Catholics to prove that their God or Christians is not an a-hole. That's because I've not seen any of them do that yet.
yeah, it's been several streams now.
That's all. I just want to say thanks for what you're doing and keep it up.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much. I was gonna make a joke about, like, I hope you're not as sour as a lemon, and you weren't. You were very sweet.
No,
so
that is why I'm called Lemon. I'm bitter and sour, so.
Ah, well, not to me so far, so. Therefore, that must not be true.
Best luck to you.
Thank you so much. Well, wasn't that delightful? That was great. I'm occasionally, like, pleasantly surprised to talk to a friendly. Now, if I already know you, don't you dare speak to me. Except during Ramsas, which will be at its normally scheduled time on Sunday. But right afterwards, I'm going to get my hair done, and I'm so excited, you guys. I'm going for a pretty big change this time. So, well, hopefully I'll like it. If I don't, then I'll just cry and never show myself again. '80s style perm. Oh god, with how much hair I have, can you imagine? Like, these are thick ass braids, right? Like, they just stay that thick the whole time. You would die to start a color after 8. No. I'm doing it Sunday after my Ramsas show, which is early afternoon show. Get a buzz cut. Ooh. You know, I used to have a pixie cut. I mean, if you remember my very old streams that I used to do back in like 2021, I had very short hair. Honestly, it was actually a pretty good look on me. I just like having the long hair better. And I have a rounder face now. So I don't think I would go back to the short necessarily, but let me see. I have a picture of me with the short hair that I really like. The grow out was an awkward process. But, you know, after a couple of years, it had some shape again. And then there was a time where I got a haircut that was just horrible. Oh my god. Yes, here's the photo I'm looking for. You guys are, like, not gonna believe that this was me when I show you this. So this was me with short hair. So I do miss it sometimes. But I like the long hair. I like being able to braid my hair, put it back, whatever. Like a twink. I did, because this was around quarantine, so I was masked up a lot, and I did get mistaken for a twink fairly often. I found it very entertaining. But then there was also a time where, you talk about an 80s perm, I worked as an extra on a show, and they dressed me up like a businesswoman in the 80s, and I still had that short hair, and the result is terrifying. So here's the opposite of it, is when they put me in this. I can't, like, fix the exposure very well, but that was the look. I would have asked to speak to your manager, most definitely. Hated that look. But I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about going back to the short hair sometimes, because it's so much easier to care for. When I have this much hair, first of all, I shed like a husky, so there is just bits of my hair fucking everywhere in the apartment. I've been rambling this whole time. Got someone up here. Hey, Jenny. You above 18?
Yeah.
What pronouns should we
my
use
phone's
for
at
you?
my phone's at 15%. So.
All right. Well, we'll try to make it quick. What pronouns should I use for you?
She.
All right. And what's your religion or lack thereof?
I'm raised Catholic.
Okay.
A Catholic. Mm-hmm.
Catholic. Okay.
Yeah, I was raised Catholic. Yeah.
Well, okay. So that tells me how you were raised. What is your religion?
Yeah, I still go if I can. I'm not able to go all the time.
Do you still believe in it?
I believe in God. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But do you still believe in Catholicism?
Well, I'm learning. I'm not. I don't totally rule it out. I am learning more, like, as I get older. You know, I know that. You know, there's been additional things added. You know, based on human experience. You know, saints. They refer to some individuals, you know, as saints who live saintly lives and things. And I know that there's certain things that have been added, you know. So I'm just slowly, you know, going through each different thing it's a bit of a process. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
It's a bit of a process.
Why do Christians worship an a-hole?
Well, you know, I wanted to ask you about, I don't know if you have like a lot of knowledge on this particular aspect, but like there are Christians, you might know more about this than I would, but there are Christians that maybe don't literally believe in every aspect of the Bible. Is that true? Like Gnostic? I'm just sort of learning a little bit about Gnosticism. And so if I'm correct, I think that, okay, basically what I'm saying is that with Christianity, what I'm learning is that it's very diverse. Apparently, like in the first century, there were quite a lot of Christians, different types of Christians. Some of them were referred to as Gnostics, and I don't know if there still are, but so
I can make this really short and easy for you, Jenny. Do they worship the God in the Bible?
Well, the Gnostics apparently don't worship the Hebrew.
They have the distinction of demiurge, right?
Okay.
Oh, you weren't familiar with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So they would say that like we were created by the demiurge, and they would draw a distinction between that entity and like Jesus in the Bible.
Okay.
But typically Christians worship Christ. Most of them do believe Christ is God, and the God in the Bible is an asshole.
Yeah. Do you think that do you consider in some ways that like the Old Testament, the way I look at it, or the way I am looking at it, I'm just still only on Genesis. So I'm really going slow at this.
One, Jenny.
No, I know, but no, I mean, no, I've read others before, but I'm more looking at it like with a fine-tooth comb, you know what I mean? Like I've gone back to it, but it's not like I'm just kind of reading the passages out and like being like, taking them for one paragraph and being like, oh, what does that mean to me? I'm actually going back. I'm trying to like look at it historically, and that's why I'm there, because I never really did that, so I'm going. So, but anyway, but what I was going to say is, do you think that possibly like some of it can be referenced to the author, like in that time, like some of the authors might be sometimes speaking about the God that they, I'm talking about the Old Testament, because I don't know if you've looked at both, which probably you have, but apparently I've heard that like the Old Testament differs quite a bit from the New. And then, and then there's a different, it's quite complex. There's the Judaism, and then there's, so do you understand what I'm saying? Is it possible that maybe
it's a little funny that you said it was very complex and then you listed one thing.
No, I mean, what I mean is like the Judaism, right? And then okay, so after Jesus came, things were changed somewhat, right? And it's like a progression, like a trajectory, like
that's a nonsensical argument in my opinion when people try to say that like things are different because there was the new covenant. Because if you believe that God is morally perfect, which many Christians do, then he can't like change his mind about what is and is not moral, so every action he took in the Old Testament must have been moral.
Yeah. What about if certain authors were interpreting certain events to be attributed to God?
Well, they quote God, so then you would have to say that they're directly lying when they say that God said it. And so then what parts of the Bible do you believe and what parts do you not? If there's some that it's just people making up things that God said. Because I would say the whole thing is people making up things God said. But if you say, well, some of it is just people making up things God said, okay, well, how do you decide which of that is true and which isn't?
Does Jesus in some way refer back to the Old Covenant, as you say, and
yes,
in any parts?
Yep, Matthew 5:17, he says that he came not to abolish the law but to fulfill it, and he says that not a letter nor a stroke of a letter of the law will change until heaven and earth have come to pass. He says that if you don't keep the commandments or you instruct others not to keep the old law, that you will be considered least in the kingdom of heaven.
Okay. Right. Yeah, and I think he does mention something about I don't know the specific spot, but I think there's one eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, or something that he spoke about that specific passage, right? Do you know, or maybe not?
Well, that's from I believe that's from Exodus, but that vastly predates Christianity.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean vastly predates?
Like that's not unique to Christianity. That was a principle before Christianity.
Yeah, but I think with that particular one, I won't waste much more of your time. I'll let someone else go. But with that particular one, didn't he like reference it and say that that's not the way that like we shouldn't be like doing that? Something like, we don't do an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth or something like he said, but but I say this or something. I don't know exactly, but I think he did reference that one and say that that was something that shouldn't be acted upon or acted like in that manner, that we don't go out and I don't know the specific one in the New Testament. I'm sorry. I thought there was one that referenced that specific and said,
You're talking about the turn the other cheek passage?
Could be. Yeah, could be. Is that, I'll have to go back.
Because that's not really, that's not trying to like contradict the law. Because he just says, you've heard it, that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray those who persecute you. Yeah, there was definitely no law in the Old Testament that said to hate your enemy. So he's just saying that some people have said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy, but you should love them both.
Right. Maybe he could have, we weren't there, but it possibly could have meant that that's, that this is the way some people were interpreting that in this old law. And I say this, I think like what some of the things that I've been reading about too is that some people in those times did not like this individual who was coming along and saying, this is what you've been sort of doing it in this manner, and I tell you no, do it like this. And they really took quite offense to that, which possibly could have contributed to his fate. But anyway, I just wanted to I don't want to take up all the time here, but I just wanted to kind of bring up a little bit about where I'm at with it, what I'm looking at it from different authors, history, and also different types of Christianity that I'm only just learning about too, because you've obviously more looked more into the Gnosticism. I'm just looking at that now, but anyway, okay, thank you so much. And I'll let someone come up.
Okay, I mean, I was going to delve into it a little bit more if you wanted to talk about some of those things, because I pulled up the original passage in Exodus 21 where it does say eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Yeah. This is specifically talking about injuring a pregnant woman. So it says, when people who are fighting injure a pregnant woman, so there's a miscarriage, and yet no further harm follows, the one responsible shall be fined what the woman's husband demands, paying as much as the judges determine. If any harm follows, that is, if any harm follows after injuring a pregnant woman, then he shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. So this is specifically referring to if someone injures a pregnant woman and she miscarries. So I don't think that this was considered to apply to everybody, because in the same passage it tells you how to beat a slave.
Right.
So I don't think Jesus is saying, you've heard it said that this applies to everyone. I think it's that people were misapplying what was supposedly the law that was given.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, misapplying. Yeah.
Because the eye for eye, tooth for tooth is not just retaliation. It would be punishment.
Right.
So Jesus is speaking about retaliation. The original passage is speaking about punishment.
I see. Okay. If I don't know if you have something there that you're looking up there. If you wouldn't mind looking up just this one more before I go, that I've been reading a little bit about too. Ezekiel 18. I think it's 18:3. I might be wrong, but. And if you might know what that reference is. Like I think it's talking about something in the Old Testament, and I've been looking at one that some people take they take issue with one of them. I think it's 2 Samuel. I don't know, one of the Samuels, and I was wondering if this could be applied to that. I don't know if you could read it. If it's the right one. Which one do you have there? Ezekiel 18.
Yeah, I have Ezekiel 18 pulled up. The verse you said, verse 3, is, "As I live, says the Lord God, this proverb shall no more be used by you in Israel."
Right. Do you by any chance know which proverb, or sorry, not proverb, sorry. Oh my gosh. Which proverb they're speaking of?
The parents have eaten sour grapes and the children's teeth are set on edge.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, it's something to do with it gets complicated because I think it's got to do something with washing your hands or something, another very strict law in the Old Testament. And that's another thing is like the other thing I'm learning is the translation, right, of Hebrew. Like you actually have to know some of the Hebrew because originally it was Hebrew, the Old Testament, right?
Yeah.
So that's a whole other ball game. I mean, to be able to dive into it, making sure what you're reading is actually what was in the original Hebrew text too, right? So but anyway, thank you so much. Yep. Thanks for having me up. Okay.
Have a good one, Jenny.
Okay, bye.
That was not much of anything. All right. Well, we currently have no guest in requests, and it's been 2 hours. Let me see. I'm gonna invite this person up because they've been attempting to make the same unfunny joke like 12 times. So if you want to come up and tell your joke to everybody, I'll give you a platform to tell your joke to everyone. Because, like, you clearly very much want my attention for me to hear your, like, very mediocre joke. So I'm just trying to give you a chance to tell everybody if you want to. Not really? Okay, cool. You can care less. Okay, then I ask that you care less. I'm sure people on YouTube have also been able to see it, but he just keeps repeating like, oh, Christians worship an a-hole, huh? So they worship you? Oh, you're saying they worship you then? You're saying Christians worship you. Christians don't worship you. You're the Christians that worship. Do they worship you? I said it like 20 fucking times in my chat. Fuck, learn how to construct a joke. Optimus Rhymes sent a super chat over on YouTube saying, Jesus, take a breath, girl. I'm assuming that's about Jenny. She did sound a little bit winded. I can't see what emoji that is. It's just showing up as a box for me. But in any case, oh, it's just a box. Great. YouTube is about 10 seconds delayed. You guys are in the future. Because by the time you're hearing this, it's going to be after when I actually said it. So you're in the future compared to when I said... Never mind. No, it's an ID. Okay, then I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Great. Well, this time we're going to go say hey to Cam and Dalton, the Bible guy, over on their live. Because they're a couple now and it's adorable and I want to support them. So we are going to go over and we're going to tell them hi. So, everyone, head on over. Cam's is, it's Aragorn Lover, spelled L-U-V-R-R. Or you can check Dalton the Bible Guy's page. They are dating. They're together now. They're couple. It's adorable. So, let's go do that. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Can you act weird once there? Okay, you get one. You get one weird. Everybody, you are allotted one weird, okay? Once you've expended that weird, it's gone. You don't get it back. It is a one-time only weird on Cam and Dalton's live, okay? Until you're granted another one, that's all you get. And I'm being very, very generous. Very generous. So you can either go look at the Bible Guys page, or you can go look at Cam's, which is, again, it's Aragorn Lover, but it's spelled Luvrr. No, Inumaki, you don't get 3 weirds. You get 1 weird. 1. All right, bye, TikTok. Hey, YouTube. Those guys are so weird, am I right? So weird. So strange. Well, it's just us. Did you guys know that you were my favorite tonight? Just thought you might like to know that. So I will be back again tomorrow night. Join my Discord. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'm probably going to go eat some Ben & Jerry's and watch Bluey. That's what's required of an autistic